The following program is a collection of hooligans engaging in lively conversations about anything and everything that happens to populate in their heads. It is meant to be comedic entertainment. The opinions expressed on the show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of the hosts, their peers, AIM Student Radio, or the Communication Media Department. P.S. Don't sue us and don't believe anything we say.
Hello, welcome back to the Dumpster Fire 4.1. Today it's just Dax and Kion, hence why we're starting 45 minutes late. Don't worry about it.
Also very prepared.
It's
Yes.
so prepared. We
So
have more than
prepared.
just one plan, I promise.
I bet Josh was making bets on whether or not we would be here on time. Well, congratulations, Josh. You won. We did not make it on time.
No, we did not.
Yeah.
We are really good at not being on time.
Yes, it's like our main skill.
It's mostly because Kion will not get up when I'm trying to get him up.
That is true, and it's also because I am incapable of being faster than like 20 minutes in the shower.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna get into some more music before the top of the hour, and then we'll get some weather at the top of the hour, and decide what we're gonna talk about in the next couple of minutes. I have a single idea.
One whole idea.
One whole idea, and that's enough. So,
We
you know
could
what?
make a 3-hour show on that.
It's gonna be 4 hours,
4
and it's gonna be
hours.
great.
Right.
Anyway, you guys are stuck with us until like 3 o'clock or something. I don't know. We'll go until we feel like stopping. This is Chaos. This is the Dumpster Fire. Next is Living on a Prayer from Bon Jovi. I said that right for once in my
did.
life. I'm so proud of
Congrats.
myself. Anyway, you're listening to AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be.
I guess.
You're listening to AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. This is Dax and Kion.
Hello.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna read some events and some weather.
Oh
Are
boy.
you okay?
I'm so tired.
Today there are a bunch of recruiters in the student commons right now at the Greeley campus. There is a volunteer drive from 1:30 to 3:30 at the Greeley campus in the student commons. Then there's a bunch of stuff going on this week.
I heard a little bit about that volunteer drive.
It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, essentially it's for like a food bank kind of thing. But it's the kind of thing that you can put on your resume for experience. And it's very helpful for people that need to be hired somewhere, but everywhere it says they require experience. But you can't get experience until you get hired.
Yeah.
So this is kind of one of those very helpful things to kind of get something on there for your resume so you can get hired by somebody.
Yeah.
So
It's a pretty nice thing. In Fort Lupton. Wait, let me make sure this is Fort Lupton. They changed the way that our weather thing looks like. Wait, no, why?
oh dear.
Oh no, they changed the weather thing.
Dax broke the weather.
I didn't break anything. They changed the way it looks. Okay.
You did it.
So in Fort Lupton right now, it is 61 with a high of 68, a low of 42. In Loveland, it's 63 with a high of 68 and a low of 44. In Windsor, it's 61 with a high of 67 and a low of 41. And here on our home campus in Greeley, it is 61 with a high of 69, a low of 40, and wind gusts of 14 miles an hour.
The wind is mean.
The wind is being awful today.
I am not a fan of the wind. It is not my friend.
No, it's being awful right now.
I was outside waiting for you to get to the car, and it wasn't a great time. I was just like, I hope you are going to be here soon, because I don't want to be in this wind for a second longer than I need
Can you
to.
pick up that bag by chance,
I
please?
will pick it up in a moment.
Please
yeah.
Please
will
pick it up
the
now.
bag.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. I have a bag with like raspberry juice in it, and it's definitely
Oh,
gonna stain the carpet.
That's what that is?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't.
Why do you have a bag of raspberry juice?
Because I was eating raspberries in the bag.
I guess that makes more sense than putting a little bit of raspberry juice in a bag.
No, it was my breakfast.
Oh.
Raspberries.
A little bit of raspberry juice in a bag?
Yeah, just a little bit of raspberry juice in a bag.
That's your
Next,
breakfast.
with music is Bored to Death by Blink-182. You are listening to AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. You're listening to The Dumpster Fire on AIM Student Radio. What was that?
I don't know. It was just, you seemed like you were not prepared, and it was funny.
I am fully prepared. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
Okay, well, you have the topic, so
Oh,
do you want to introduce
yeah,
it?
I do have the topic. I forgot.
We're a mess.
I am also very prepared. So, I'm like almost certain that I have talked about this on air before. However, I have seen the first 2 episodes of Fallout, and so I want to talk about it again.
It's fine.
Essentially, I am a big old nerd that really likes the practical elements of filmmaking, specifically like what design choices are you making while filming, not just talking about like the camera and whatnot, but the actual set itself. And like I said, I've only seen the first 2, and I don't want to talk too much about spoilers because it's like recently out still, but the new Fallout show, which is of course an adaptation of the Fallout video game series, is pretty good so far. I'm liking it so far, and they are doing a really good job, in my opinion, of trying to keep some things very practical while having a pretty good amount of CGI as well. And I feel like they are so far doing pretty good on the balance. I personally am very like try to do almost all of it practical if you can. So there's a few things that make me they should have done that practical, but I like what they have done, you know. But specifically, what got my attention is there's these. How much do you know about Fallout?
Nothing.
Literally nothing?
Literally not a single thing.
Okay, so there's these mech suit things that some of the people wear, and they made like actual suits of armor for them.
Oh, cool.
Like they look very good. It reminds me a little bit of like the Jim Henson doing the animatronics kind of thing.
Got it.
It looks a little bit similar to that style. It looked, but they look wonderful and so much more real by having actual people in actual costumes rather than having them have, you know, like an Iron Man style kind of thing. Specifically because there's parts when like the guy takes off the helmet of the thing and stuff like that, and I don't think those scenes would have worked as well if they did like the CGI suits. The other thing that got my attention is they did almost a one-to-one recreation of like the entrance of one of the vaults, and it looked really, 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 really good. But there's other parts of the vault that weren't done entirely, and so it looked a little bit weird going from parts that were like completely built to parts that they like had to have some like backdrops in. Yeah. But I like the way that they did the entrance part, and I don't mind the CGI because there's like a room where there's like a backdrop, so it looks like they're in a field because they're all underground, and so they have like generated scenery. So it makes sense to have that part be generated. Yeah. But it just looked a little bit odd. So yeah. The main thing though that I haven't talked about before on air is one of the characters is a ghoul. Is what they call him in Fallout. But basically that means he is kind of like an undead kind of guy. But they did all of his makeup as very practical, like stage makeup stuff. And it looks wonderful. Like it looks so good. And I am so glad that they didn't like have him like in like a fake, like CGI zombie kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because so many people are talking about like, ooh, the ghoul. Why is the ghoul kinda? And like, sure, whatever. Yeah, everyone. He's kind of cute, sure, whatever. But whatever. That's not my point. The point being is I don't think people would think that he looked nearly as cool or as human if they did CGI.
Yeah, I think that's the really good thing of practical effects, and I honestly think that's why I gravitate towards live theater so much.
Yeah.
It's because everything has to be practical. Like, I remember I've designed a set for a show called The Play That Goes Wrong or something like that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something like that. Like, where there are literal parts of the play where the entire set falls around somebody and you can't hit them in the head.
Right.
Like, everything, and, like, there are so many moving parts and everything. I love all those practical stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to jump cut to make someone disappear. I want to make them fall through the floor. You know, like, like, make it practical. Or, like, Little Shop of Horrors. That has a lot of practical stuff. That's why I'm a big fan of, and I think that's why I get so angry when they make those musicals into movies without maintaining, like, that theatrical, you know, like, the theatrical part that makes them so amazing. The part that's amazing is how human live theater is.
Right.
And they make that, like, the Matilda the musical movie is, I've gotten through a few minutes of it. To be completely honest, I don't know how bad it is, because I was only able to get through a few minutes of it.
I think I'm in a similar boat there with the Matilda one, but I have seen the Little Shop of Horrors movie. I think I'm in a very similar boat with that one, because I think part of the reason that Audrey the Giant Talking Plant is so cool and scary is because, you know, when you see it live, you can see that set work, you can see the puppeteering.
Right.
And it looks so much more genuine to have him reacting to something you can physically see.
Right.
Rather than something that is so very clearly generated. To be fair, that movie was older.
Yeah.
And so the computer work wasn't nearly as, you know.
But if they did puppeteering for that.
Right.
It would have been so much better, because it would be an actual thing for the actors. And there's a different way that, like, a really good actor, you can't tell. But a lot of actors interact with CGI differently than they, like, you know, like somebody in, like, a morph suit.
Yeah.
They interact with those people differently than they do with, like, a puppet.
Right.
Like, the puppet, they can see it, they can conceive it. But with, like, you know, someone in a morph suit, just like a green blob that's going to be CGI of, you know, a monster or something like that. Like, it's so difficult to...
Right. And to fall back on Fallout, the one of the things that they did was, like, one of the monsters that they fight was very clearly CGI'd. I get why they do that. Because it's like, you're not going to make an animatronic or a suit for every single thing in the show. Especially when it's the very... how to say detailed and gory monsters in Fallout.
And it only comes up once.
Right, that would be so hard to pull off, and I get why they do that. And so, like, that's a smart thing to do for them, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if they did let's say, like, the mech suits as CGI, those are one of the main things that are showed off in the show. You would notice that in every single scene that they're in. Right,
and it's hard to keep that consistency when you're doing CGI. Sometimes things move weird because, like, like, that kind of stuff is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people realize how difficult CGI is to pull off. And when there's good CGI, like, that is majorly impressive. But when there's really good set design and really good CGI together, it makes the media feel more real.
Right.
I mean, going back to Five Nights at Freddy's, like we talked about before.
I don't think we'll shut up about that movie.
No, never, because it, like, genuinely, like, the suits
were
so good.
Yeah. And I think that's why I was so hyped. I was like, oh, whatever, Fallout. I personally am not a huge Fallout person. Like, I know of it. I've played a little bit just because, you know, I like Skyrim and it's by the same studio, so I tried it out. But I started watching it with my dad, and very quickly I was like, oh, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so I kept with it because I realized how much effort they put into the production. Which is, I mean, if we're talking about that, we could technically talk a little bit about Airbender, but we've not actually seen that much. So,
No, we haven't seen that much of
yeah.
that one.
We've only really seen other people talking about it.
About Airbender and
Yeah.
how, that gets me angry because of the story shift.
Yeah.
But the CGI in that is very good. Like,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it looks good for what it is.
Yeah. And I think the summary for CGI for me is understanding that not everything that you want to be showy has to be through CGI.
Right.
Because I feel like a lot of studios have forgotten that you can make something look flashy and entertaining and practical, you know? Because
Right.
I feel like, specifically, like, to go back to the monster thing, you can make a practical monster and you can make it look flashy, you know?
Yeah.
It would be very hard, but so is hiring a whole bunch of CGI people. Like, either way is still difficult.
Yeah, and I think there's a very, very good way of making it fluid between practical and CGI. Like, there's a very, very fine line to tread.
Yeah.
Where you can make things look good and feel real enough.
Yeah. I think for me the biggest please just do it all practical has to be the set design and costume design, with a few exceptions, very few. Those being things like if you're gonna do like a Medusa kind of thing,
Yeah.
like you don't want her to have just a wig of snakes that don't move, you know?
Right.
Like it makes sense to have CGI for her like snakes kind of thing.
Yeah.
But for like if you're gonna do her scales, you know, do actual makeup for that, you know?
And there are some very, very impressive things that people can do. I think that it's like because of CGI, I feel like VFX is almost not like that makeup. Those makeup artists are phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like it is not talked about enough how amazing they are.
Yeah.
And like they use like tissues and latex.
Yeah.
Like it's not like they are.
It's not like it can be, how to say, a production and very time consuming.
Yeah.
I saw a thing talking about The Hobbit the other day.
Yeah.
That was like, no, it was actually the original Lord of the Rings. But anyway, when they ever had to put on like the Hobbit feet, they were these really big prosthetics that they put on, and it took like 2 hours per foot. So like it's time consuming. It's difficult, but the result is something that just cannot beat the you know, CGI.
It's so worth it because like it looks real because it is real.
Right.
It's not CGI'd in. It's not. I mean, somebody had to focus on each individual hair of the Hobbit foot.
Right. Right. And that's why it ends up looking so much more authentic.
Right.
Because, you know, the actors get to react to something actually there.
Right.
The audience gets to see something that's actually there.
Right.
But I feel like that's where the argument for the new blue screens comes in. The backdrops.
Yeah.
I have very mixed feelings about those generated backdrops.
As a film student.
Yeah.
Kion is a film student.
So, for those who don't know, a trend that is happening in a lot of movies and shows and whatnot right now is they are essentially using, specifically for high budget stuff, they are using a live computer generated backdrop, so then that way the actors can physically see what the CGI background will look like for their scene. Which is cool, I guess. If you're going to be doing a background that has to be CGI, I can definitely see that appeal, you know? If you're going to be doing something like, you know, I don't know, like a very, like, fantasy background that you
or like a city burning down.
Right. You can't actually burn down a city.
Right.
So it makes sense to have something like that for that. But if you're gonna be just doing a forest scene, just go film in a forest, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like there is too much emphasis on it. They kind of overuse it in a lot of shows, and for me, who is someone that is very into film, it sticks out like a sore thumb. I can see it very quickly, and it annoys me when people are like, "Oh, it looks so good and real," and then I'm like, "No, you can see exactly where their like sand meets the fake sand because they're doing it like an ocean thing, and it So
yeah, I think that once you know what to look for, it kind of ruins that for you, and you just want to see everything practical because you're like, this is so saddening.
Yeah, but those are my 2 cents. Practical set is cool.
I agree. I like building practical sets. Anyway, we're gonna get back to some music with "Carry On Wayward Son" by Kansas. This is AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. You're listening to The Dumpster Fire, and I'm not prepared. I forgot that I was supposed to be doing weather. Hold on, let me refresh the page. At least I've got the good mouse working today, because last week the good mouse wasn't working, and I was ready to commit some crimes. Okay. In Fort Lupton, it is 63 with a high of 68 and a low of 42. In Loveland, it is 63 with a high of 68 and a low of 44. In Windsor, it is 62 with a high of 67 and a low of 41. And then here on your home campus in Greeley, it is weather. Come on. 61 with a high of 68 and a low of 40. Wind gusts of 16 miles an hour right now with gusts up to 19 miles an hour. And it says that today is much cooler.
I think that's mostly just because of the wind, honestly.
Yeah, the wind yesterday was awful.
Yeah.
You couldn't see out to the mountains.
Right.
At all.
I think it's just the wind chill today. Like, honestly, it doesn't feel that bad out there until you get the wind, so... But the wind is, like, constant, so...
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. But, do we have a topic? Are we gonna do some talking?
Well, we will. Hold on, really quickly. I just saw it there on Thursday. The trio group is going to the Museum of Discovery from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Have you ever been to the Museum of Discovery in Fort Collins?
No.
Oh, it is a good time. It's a lot of fun.
What it is.
It's like a children's museum.
Oh.
It's amazing.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, so they're leaving at like 9 a.m. Transportation and lunch will be provided.
Dang.
So, you can RSVP on the Ames website. Anyway, that's all I had for right now. Do you have anything else to say, Kion? We'll come back with a topic in a couple minutes. We're just gonna let you guys get some more music. Okay, well, Kion's sleepy. Next we're gonna talk about what Minecraft mob you think would taste the best.
Because that's a normal thing to talk about.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is completely. Okay, next up is What I Got by Sublime. You're listening to AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. That was Buddy Holly by Weezer.
Good job.
Can you tell that I'm in charge of the radio today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing for specifically me. So.
Yeah. It's a bummer for anybody who does think that's a bad thing. You're stuck with me for a little while more.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Also, we have fully run out of ideas.
Yeah.
1 hour into the show.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem.
Well, an hour and a half into the show. So, we're going to talk about what Minecraft mob would taste the best.
Minecraft.
Minecraft!
So, for anyone who doesn't know anything about Minecraft, I'm sorry, this segment is not going to make any sense. But we're not talking about, chickens or cows or the bunnies. No. We're talking about, like, the mobs you're not supposed to eat.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to start off strong and say the phantoms probably taste bad.
You're probably right.
Because the main thing that they drop is those phantom membranes, which I imagine are basically, like...
Goo.
No, I don't think it's like goo. I imagine it's kind of like fingernails.
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to chew on fingernails.
Right, so I
So
imagine
real.
phantoms aren't it. I think
Yeah,
that I think
no.
I'm gonna put them pretty low on our
our tier
imaginary
list.
tier list of
It sounds good.
yeah.
You know what I will rate pretty mid would be those little dudes that walk on the lava.
Oh, Striders?
Yeah,
Okay.
they'd be pretty mid, I think.
I think I would put those in a solid C tier.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I feel like those would be like a certain kind of like a goat equivalent, you know?
So true.
Like, I feel like they're not bad, but you're gonna want, veal or like something else instead, you know? Like,
Right,
they're not it, but they're not bad.
Right.
I feel like they're also very specifically like one of those kinds of things you do eat, but like you only eat like a specific part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so like a lot goes to waste.
Right. Okay. Ooh, what about a ghast? What do we think about a ghast?
Bad.
Bad?
Imagine eating a jellyfish, but it's a fire jellyfish.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking more like a giant whale. Just because they're big.
I think their composition is more similar to jellyfish.
Yeah, I mean, they do look a lot like jellyfish. They've got...
And they drop tears.
That's true. I don't...
They're
So
probably real
if they
salty.
drop tears, they will probably make you cry if you eat them.
That
how that
is
works.
logic. Yeah. No, that's... Yeah.
That's right. Oh, I thought of one. I think at the very bottom, I'm gonna have to put, blazes.
Oh, yeah.
Because the only thing
they're just fire.
Yeah, the only thing they drop are blaze rods, and they're just made out of fire. So I'm pretty sure that is the equivalent of biting into, like, I don't know, like aluminum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good...
No. Blaze rods look like they're made of gold.
They do. They look like they're made out of bronze or something, yeah.
And you know, you can eat gold.
You could.
You can.
You probably shouldn't.
You can, though.
You could.
Let's think of some other things.
Spiders.
Actually, I would put those at B tier.
B
Prepared
tier.
correctly.
So I'm a big spider hater. I don't love spiders. They give me the heebly-jibblies.
Heebly jibblies.
Yeah, I said it.
I heard you say it.
But I'm gonna put them probably like C tier, just because like I feel like they're so big in Minecraft.
Yeah.
That if you'd like prepared me a spider leg in Minecraft, I wouldn't know it was unless you told me.
Right.
However, this is going to be a crazy statement right now. A hot take from Kion.
Oh no.
I think the cave spiders would probably taste better than the normal spiders.
Okay, but they would probably poison you.
I think they're better still.
Okay.
I'm going on the basis of absolutely nothing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Good
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
What about magma cubes? F tier.
No. I think magma cubes are probably B tier.
F tier.
I feel like those have gotta be like...
It's like beef jerky on the outside. A tier.
I feel like there's a lot to process in your statement, but I think magma cubes would probably be like a staple for like a lot of spicy dishes. I feel like they would use that in like as like kind of like a chili powder, you know? You know?
I don't agree.
No?
No.
I feel like they would use it to like make like spicy stuff.
I don't think you understand how fire works. Fire does not make things spicy.
They're not literally like always on fire. Like, yeah, the outside is literally magma, but then the magma cream stuff is like what you use for like potion making. So it's not...
Oh, so true. I didn't even think about what they dropped.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the drops.
I got it.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I'm using both, you know.
B tier.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I'm a
where
big
I put
fan
it.
of the spicy,
Yeah.
but B tier if you're eating it alone.
Okay. You're eating it alone?
Yeah. I'm gonna munch down on some magma cream. I'm gonna take a shot of chili oil.
Oh no. I don't think that's...
Okay, let's go on to some
Okay.
of the overworld ones.
Yeah.
Enderman?
Ooh.
I say overworld, it's the only one that's in
yeah,
all three dimensions, but...
I don't think that those are... that's what I'm saying. Do you think the villagers taste good? Like, I know that's a guy. That's a guy.
Do you think the villagers taste good?
No. I think...
I've heard human meat is pretty decent. Okay, is cannibalism legal if the other person consents?
Yes, and it's vegan, but...
Yeah, it's vegan. Eating human meat is vegan if the other person consents.
Okay, wait, hold on. Is it still cannibalism if, technically speaking, they are not of the same species? Because, technically speaking, the villagers and the player are not the same species.
Correct.
So that's not really cannibalism.
I mean, closest thing to us would be like some sort of monkey type thing, you know? Eating a monkey isn't cannibalism.
I mean, I'm still not about it. But
yeah, but it's not cannibalism.
I guess.
It's fine.
I don't... Okay.
What do you think Steve tastes like?
No, that's a man. That's a guy.
Yeah, I think that the villagers would taste fine. I feel like if you just ground it up and didn't tell anybody, nobody would notice.
I'm putting them in D tier.
Enderman, I'm gonna put in, like, they're so skinny that all of their meat would be so tough.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna put them in a solid F tier.
Okay.
And also, I'd feel bad eating an Enderman. I feel like their meat's like a weird color as well.
Oh, it's definitely like deep purple.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's gonna like weird me out real bad.
Right. I think that they would actually not taste that bad, but it's gotta be really stringy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it would be like one of those things that the taste is good, but the texture is so unpleasant that like you have to prepare it in certain dishes, or it's really bad.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that in like C as well.
Okay.
Okay, villagers, that's just a guy, and as such, I'm just putting that in D.
Out of principle?
Yeah, that's just a guy. However, I think the pillagers...
So true. Oh, I wasn't even thinking of like the Vindicators or anything like that.
I'm just gonna lump all of them together. I think they are better because I saw a specific headcanon once that said that they are more equivalent to, like, if villagers are like sheep, then pillagers are like rams, and I specifically think that, like, you know, they would be better. On the basis of nothing.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
We're just gonna leave that thought right there.
Yeah. But continuing that, so I'd actually rank them pretty close, but like the same tier, but like put pillagers just above it, you know? Okay. But Ravagers. Yeah.
S tier.
Oh yeah.
S tier for sure.
Something in my heart is telling me that a Ravager steak has gotta be like exquisite cuisine in Minecraft.
It's like Wagyu.
Oh yeah, that's
like,
gotta
sure.
be Wagyu beef, right?
For
there.
sure.
For sure.
Okay.
Okay.
What about Creeper?
Creeper.
F tier. It is just gonna taste like sawdust. Like, not like sawdust. Like what's that called?
Sulfur.
Sulfur. Yeah. Thank you.
Wrong though.
It's gonna taste like eating a firecracker.
No, I think creepers would actually be bussin'. I think they've gotta taste great. Because I think they're not actually... I think they're more like a fungus.
See, I was gonna go a different direction.
Yeah?
I was gonna say that for some reason creepers remind me more of spiders.
Ooh. So you think that they're like a bug?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they're more like a bug.
Okay.
And so, but like an explosive bug.
Because something in my heart tells me that that's like their exoskeleton.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
And they like kersplode.
They do kersplode.
I feel
True.
like there's probably a way to correctly, like, remove whatever exploding mechanism there is.
I feel like they're gonna be like pufferfish, you
Right.
know? Like, if you prepare it right, that's gotta be like fine dining, but it
Right.
might kill you.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna put them in like a solid A tier
Okay.
because they're good, but there's some risk, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Yeah. Sounds good. I put
Okay.
that in, like, a D tier because I don't want my food to come with risks. I'm already allergic to enough.
Okay. I want to go a slightly different direction here.
Okay.
Do you think, how would you rank glowberries?
Oh, those are probably so good. I love berries, though.
Yeah.
I'm a big berry boy.
Yeah.
So, I would have to rank those like S tier.
Okay, so the reason I ask, though, is because, like, they only heal you for, like, half a freaking, like, food bar. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's, like, okay, I think it's because you're eating, like, a handful of berries. Like, sure. But I feel like those have gotta be so yummy. Like, look at them.
Yeah.
They look delicious.
They look delectable.
Oh, yeah. That should heal you for, like, way more just because they look yummy.
Oh, okay. That's Kion's hot take of the day.
Yeah. Okay, what other mobs? Ooh, guardians. I know you're not very big on fish.
I love fish.
Really?
Yeah, I love fish.
Okay, I thought, who was it? Okay, I got confused. But I feel like they are probably similar to like a swordfish.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
they're some sort of fishy, and I'm down for that.
I'm specifically thinking they're not tuna, you know?
Right.
I think they are like,
They're
Ooh.
probably real rich.
I think they're like pike.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like pike. So I'm gonna put that at A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are not making a tier list, by the way.
No,
We're just saying
We're
things
just
for
saying we're making a tier list.
fun. What about the Wither?
The viewers at home can make an actual tier list. The Wither is just bones. That's just bones.
The Wither.
Those are just bones, buddy.
He goes scream.
He does.
Yeah, but broth is made of bones. Wither bone broth.
Okay, if we're going that route, then like E is that one
E
of
is
the-
not a tier, bub.
It's not
D
it's
or F.
D then I
Okay.
guess, because it's not like, yeah, you could make like stock out of it and it might taste decent, but it's probably gonna taste
Gosh,
like
some wither
charcoal.
bone broth, like while you're sick.
I feel
That would
like,
clear your sinuses.
I feel like it's gotta be like beef broth, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's fine, I guess. Like, you'd have it if you're sick, like you're saying.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not great, you know? I feel like it would be, like, a very, like, heavy, what's the word for that? Like, oh no.
Viscosity?
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, it's gotta be very goopy, you know?
It's probably gonna make it pretty viscous, but the thing is you
Yeah.
strain broth. Have you
That's
never
true.
made broth before?
No.
Oh.
You butcher chickens.
Yeah.
We don't.
Oh, well, sorry.
But yeah, I don't think it would be very scrumptious. I think if you were like in the nether where your choices are like a mushroom and like the occasional wild boar that you find, I feel like having some wither skeleton broth with you would probably be like a staple, you know, for while you're exploring the nether.
Okay, what do you
But-
think suspicious stew tastes like?
Okay, so this is some Minecraft lore moment here. So suspicious stew can be made out of any flour,
Mhm.
just put in a bowl.
Right.
So technically, that is like dandelion soup.
Yeah.
And I think it varies heavily on which flowers you put in it. For example, those tulips, probably not very yummy. But you could maybe make a tea out of it, maybe, but you're not.
Yeah.
You're making a stew.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that that would be depending on what flowers you put in it, either D or C, because I feel like specifically like Lily of the Valley soup, that's poisonous. That's gonna kill ya. But like the night vision one, that's probably not bad. You
Yeah.
know, that's just out of the blue swamp flowers.
Yeah,
So that's probably not bad. But some of those flowers will kill you. So
that's fine.
the aluminiums, those are just onions. So
Yeah,
that's probably all right.
French onion soup.
Yeah, but other ones like witherflower soup, that's you're dead. So-
Witherflower soup.
Mm,
It's scrumptious.
yummy soup that makes you go blind.
Okay, what about the Ender Dragon?
Ooh,
S tier.
S tier.
Gosh, what do you think dragon, like, forget Minecraft,
Okay.
any fantasy world, what do you think dragon?
Alligator.
Okay, well
Yeah.
that was real quick.
Yeah. I definitely have not thought about
Keon
that
has put a
before.
lot of thought into this. Keon's a big fan of dragons.
Listen, okay. So that's the correct answer. That's the alligator is the politically correct answer. of
Okay,
what
I was wondering where you were going with that. You
what
made a
dragons
face.
taste like.
Oh gosh.
However, I think the real answer, the answer that the news doesn't want to tell you about, is
That the government's hiding from us?
yeah, it tastes like venison.
I disagree with that.
You're wrong.
Okay. I feel like the dragon wing would be like pig ear.
Yeah,
Like that's probably very, very similar.
yeah. I was gonna say I don't know what it tastes like, obviously, but I feel like it would be equivalent to like a shark fin soup kind of thing,
Yeah,
where like you have to boil it to get any nutrition
Which is-
out of it.
which is same with pig ear.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think dragon meat has gotta be so good. Like there's something just tells me.
Yeah.
I think it's another pufferfish situation though, because like that bad boy does spray poison at you. So
Oh, that's fine.
there's
If
gotta-
you cook a cashew nut right, it's not poisonous either.
So I feel like you gotta know what you're doing, but it's gotta be so good.
I would love to get a mod in Minecraft that makes everything edible.
I had one, but it didn't work.
Yeah,
So,
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot to put into the game.
yeah. But this has been a segment that doesn't make any sense if you don't play Minecraft.
And probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense even if you do, because you have to be inside of our brains in order for it to make sense.
Very
Hi,
sorry.
Rory. You're probably the only person in the world that this makes sense to.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Hopefully he's actually listening.
Anyway,
Our target audience is just Rory.
our target audience is Rory.
Yeah.
Anyway, next is going to be Spiderwebs by No Doubt. You're listening to the Dumpster Fire 4.1 on AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be, apparently.
I feel like we're forgetting some.
Oh yeah, for sure, but it's fine. Well, because then we can get into, like, toads.
Bats.
Bats, yeah, things like you can't eat, but you technically could. That's why I'm like in real life you could eat them.
Yeah.
I was going with things that like don't
They're
exist.
in the game.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Most of the other mods are like 7 variants of skeletons are just a frog. So. Shulkers.
I knew we were forgetting something in the end.
Those are clams.
Yeah.
Imagine having a shulker allergy.
Imagine finding out you have a shulker allergy. You went all the way to the end. You collected a bunch of fucking shulker flesh.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And then you start getting hives whenever you open a shulker box to get your stuff.
Fucking me.
Yeah. And like bees. That's just a bee.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat a bee.
It's just a really big bee. They're like the size of like the table.
They're 3 feet tall.
Yeah,
Canonically, they're 3 feet tall.
yeah. Because a block is a meter. So.
That's a terrifying fucking bee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Remember when we went to the museum and they had that exhibit that was like big
Big
insects?
bugs.
That's us flying around. Those big fucking bees. But like, What other things? Oh, the new mob, the sniffer. He's snorfing.
I'll short you.
Do you know what he looks like?
Nope.
Hold on, look him up on there. Look up Minecraft sniffer.
Ah, shit, I just fucked up. Hold on.
Don't do that.
Oh, I have seen him.
Yeah. He's gotta be delectable.
Oh, for sure. What the fuck is the sniffer?
I don't know, but he looks kind of like
How
a
to
sad dog. Like, he kind of looks like... He looks like Eeyore. From Winnie the Pooh. You know? I avoid the fan art. You're gonna get into some weird places quickly.
Oh, that's the goal.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yep. 2 clicks. That's all it took. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
There it is. Yeah.
I'm on a school computer.
Yeah, you are. Oh. Wow.
Like, genuinely, I don't think we can get weirder than that, though.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Well, I
we've
see
reached it.
one there.
What, this one?
No.
This one?
That one. Jesus. Oh no. No.
Yep, we found inflation.
Great.
Did not take.
It took a whole 4 clicks. About a children's make-believe creature.
And now we're back to the pure stuff.
Yay.
Sniffer, my beloved.
Look at him. He's stupid. Anyway, he's gotta be delicious.
I believe in sniffer supremacy. I believe in Minecraft Frog. I believe in male Alex supremacy. Steve and Alex.
Jesus.
I'm a big fan of that.
Oh my god.
Also, you can just call her Stevie. That would be so much better than Stevette. But... What?
Oh, Minecraft.
You're listening to AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. I'm just here with a quick weather update. In Fort Lupton, it is 64 with a high of 68 and a low of 41. In Loveland, it is 63 with a high of 67 and a low of 44. In Windsor, it's loading. It is 65 with a high of 67 and a low of 41. And then here on our home campus in Greeley, it is 65 with a high of 68, a low of 40. And then we've got wind gusts of 50 miles an hour up to 19 miles per hour right now, and our 10-day forecast tomorrow. I'm just going to tell you guys what it looks like tomorrow. Maybe, if it loads. There we go. Tomorrow we've got a high of 73 and a low of 34. It's supposed to be quite a bit chillier throughout the rest of this week.
Good job.
Thanks.
And you most definitely aren't currently playing Minecraft.
I'm not, because my mods are out of date, so I need to update them.
Right.
I can't update
Just
them
say
yet.
yes, it's okay.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'll let you guys get back to the music with Bulletproof Heart by My Chemical Romance after a couple disclaimers. You're listening to AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. Kion
Why?
is yawning.
Why is
Bad
it
timing.
that every single time we go on air, I start yawning?
I don't know,
don't
man.
yawn like the entire time that we're off air.
Yeah.
As soon as we go on is when I start.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm built different like that.
Apparently.
So, we're very prepared still. And, something cryptids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give a very, very big shout to the Mongolian death worm.
Okay. So, okay, hold on. You're kind of jumping a little bit.
What cryptid would you want to be?
Okay. So, basically, cryptids are funky guys that exist in folklore and whatnot. Things like Bigfoot, what's her actual name? Nessie.
Loch Ness Monster?
Loch Ness Monster, thank you. Tennessee Devil.
Mothman.
And like, what cryptid would you want to be? I don't know if this is my locked in answer, but I think I want to go for something that is like the main description of is like it's like a wolf, but it's not. You know, I love things that the only way you can describe it is naming other things that it isn't. I'm a very big fan of that. And because of that, I think I want to go with Beast of Briar Road. It's basically just kind of like a werewolf thing, but all of the descriptions of it are basically like a big old wolf, but it's not really a wolf, you know? And I love descriptions like that. Like, that's obviously the human mind doing they saw some sort of creature, but they're crazy scared, and so the brain is not processing what they're seeing, obviously.
Yeah.
But I really like the idea of like people being like, I swear it's not really a wolf, you know? I love that kind of thing. For other things, I am of the strong belief that modern cryptids are just like old, like the new equivalent of like Greek monsters and whatnot. Like, you're really trying to tell me that like some person in Greece wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I swear that there's a Bigfoot over here, guys. Like, I really think it's just the modern equivalent.
Yeah.
And as such, I really think the correct answer is still a manticore. Because manticores are probably just the, like, Greekified stories of tigers. But the descriptions are basically like a lion, but like it has like the tail of a scorpion. And a lot of people have figured out that that might just mean like the curled part of the tiger tail. And they didn't know what a tiger looked like, and so, you know, it's like a lion.
Yeah.
And then some later editions gave them wings, but none of the Greek version had wings, and stuff like that. So I really, really, really think that the correct answer is a manticore, just because the modern version of it is a lion with the that has the head of a goat. That, by the way, that part for the tiger analogy was basically that, like, it can make weird sounds that sound a lot like a goat dying. Anyway, the head of a goat, and then the body of a lion and the tail of a scorpion, and then later editions gave him wings also. That's just a funny guy. Imagine just seeing a flying goat, lion, scorpion thing. That's funny, you know? Like, yeah, objectively scary, but like, that's silly. I want to be a silly monster, you know?
Yeah. You're just gonna be a silly one.
Yeah. Like, again, like Chimera, that's like another, like, it has a snake tail. Like, that's silly, you know? I want to be a silly one, you know? The death worm is an interesting one to pick. That's not very silly.
No, but if somebody touches it, they die.
They do.
That's the goal. Don't touch me.
I mean, Yeah, if it would really deter anyone being like, oh, hey, you're standing in line to get coffee, I'm gonna nudge you, and then they turn into ash. Everyone's gonna leave you alone after that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, no, that's the goal in life.
Yeah.
Like, stop standing so close to me. That is the biggest thing I miss about COVID. There was
Yeah.
mandated personal bubbles.
Yeah. Yeah, I can respect that.
I'm a big fan of my personal bubble.
I personally don't want to be a giant worm, though. I
Why
feel
not?
like there's other ways to have people avoid being near you, such as being a goat-headed lion beast with the tail of a scorpion. I think people are going to leave you alone.
I don't think you know anything.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it is.
What are other cryptids? A lot of them, like the Jersey Devil, are very goat-esque, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that one's basically, like, just a goat man.
I just want to know how many of them were made up when somebody accidentally consumed shrooms.
Yeah. Or, like, I strongly think that, like, certain ones, such as, like, Bigfoot and whatnot, are just, like, stories that got blown way out of proportion.
Yeah.
For example, like, that is so definitely, like, a whole lot of different stories of some guy being out in the woods and somebody else seeing him and being like, it's a monster, you know? Like, no gorilla suit required. Just,
Yeah, if you're just a tall dude in the forest,
you're gonna freak somebody out.
right.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, and I think it's also like the human mind plays so many tricks on us.
Yeah. Fear can do a lot of funny things.
Yeah.
However, I do want to be Mothman.
I am a big fan of Mothman.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't want to be Mothman, I don't know if you've ever watched any Cyanide and Happiness shorts.
No?
Oh, okay, it's like an old YouTube channel series, you know, and they a lot of the videos are like it's like 2016 YouTube humor. Where it's getting on the line of probably being a little bit too much.
Okay. So it's probably way too much for me.
Oh, I meant like as far as offensive humor. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Probably, yeah. But cool. Mothman, like, it's just a dude with wings that came in and just, like, butt naked.
Uh-huh.
Like his butt cheeks flapping in the wind. So, that's always what I think of when I think of Mothman now. So, I love the concept of Mothman, but also...
See, I'm a sucker for anything with wings, as you know.
Big dragon fan.
Yeah. And I think Mothman is probably one of the best, like, how to say, what am I looking for? Compromises for, like, people with wings. Because, like, people aren't meant to have wings. We are not built for that, you know?
Yeah.
However, Moth can have wings, you know?
Man can have wing if he try hard enough to be a moth.
Man can have wing if he is a moth.
Exactly,
you know?
yeah.
So, I'm gonna be a Mothman.
What has this devolved into? I think we should just let them get back to music out of sheer, like...
But here's a question. Here's my closing question. Do you think that if you were a Mothman, you would get confused by streetlights?
Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, no. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it, too. You can't be Mothman and be okay with lights.
I saw a thing the other day that scientifically explained what's up with moths and lights. And it's not that they're, like, actually, like, attracted to them, as in, like, they think it's the sun or something, or, like, the moon, so they fly towards it. No, they're not trying to fly towards it. They have this instinct, essentially, to turn around if they see, like, to have the sun facing their back at all times. But they get confused by modern lights. And so they fly around it in circles because they can't figure out which way they need to be facing away from it. So, yeah.
Dumb moth.
Yeah.
You can see the lights, buddy.
They just get confused.
You can be around lights and be okay.
No.
Poor man.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, we should let them all get back to the music. And you can tell that I'm the one in charge of the music right now. You're
Yeah.
welcome, everybody. Next up is Heavy Dirty Soul by 21 Pilots. Alright, we're signing off now.
I definitely was prepared for this segment and didn't have TikTok open. Definitely.
I just closed Minecraft out on my computer. Let's go.
Yeah.
We are so focused during this.
Oh yeah. I think we need Josh back.
Josh, we miss you.
But don't tell him that.
No, don't tell him that because he'll
Yeah.
get a really, really big head.
And he doesn't need a big head.
That is shiny.
Right. He's bald. And so if he has a big head, it'll be like a big reflector lamp, and then all of the moths will be confused.
Yeah.
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 And we don't want to confuse moths.
We don't want to confuse the moths. Anyway, you're listening to AIM Student Radio, the way the radio should be.
This has been the Dumpster Fire.
You've been warned.
Please help us.